This is Motovation. I'm Laurie Joy Kingwell.
And I'm Krissy Vann. We're two dreamers on two wheels inspired by our community.
And celebrating the voices we're just lucky enough to discover along the ride. So if not already, like, subscribe, follow along, do what you gotta do to not miss an episode.
So Laurie is not joining us today, as she has shared on the podcast a couple times before. It's been a difficult couple of months with a loved one, so we just want to share our thoughts and love her way. But that means I have Chelsea Teat that we have had on the podcast before. Hi, Chelsea.
Oh, hello. I'm back.
You are back, and with good reason. We're coming off the heels of summer. To describe our view right now, we've got mountains, we've got water. Maybe you're picking up a little bit of light breeze noise. But it was a fairly epic summer. I got to know, what's your ultimate summer memory this year?
Ooh, tough one. I would say the one that probably sticks out the most, which involves a plethora of moments and memories in it, but it would be the dream roll.
Fuck yes. The dream roll. The dream roll was unbelievable. Explain to people who have not attended what it is and why it was so great.
Okay, what it is, I'll explain my experience and what I know of it, but I think everyone might have their own sort of version of that. But what it was for me and us was a women's, or those who identify as, moto campout that was down in Washington. And it's basically a weekend full of like motorcycle games and sort of like a camp out and live music and just being together and the whole nine. So we rode down. I think we rolled 10 deep on the way, picked up a few on the way home, and it was a weekend full of absolute magic of just being together and experiencing the ride. And it was quite stress-free, and it was we created our own little haven in a cabin there that was quite rustic, but true to our group of friends form, we made the best of it and had an absolutely epic time.
Quite rustic, as in not full walls, but we generated our own mosquito netting, and the beds were boards in the wall, which sounds like it would be horrifying, but it's exactly that. It's all about rolling with people that are going to make the most out of those moments. And I think that's the thing that struck me is you had hundreds of motorcyclists from every single walk of life, and the vibes and the energy of the entire space was so positive. Like, even if there were people that you didn't converse with, it was really full of community and shenanigans.
Yeah, it was a real welcoming by like anyone that you ran into. And there were people that were 20 and people that were 70. And there was, just absolute debauchery throughout. But it was just this sense of like, it was safe. There was no incidents. There was nothing that made you feel uncomfortable, and it was just being surrounded by like-minded people from different walks of life. But the ride down, the ride back, just all of it was such an experience that I don't think any of us will ever forget.
Yeah, I never got a chance to go to summer camp as a kid. This was my first summer camp experience. Did you go to summer camp as a kid?
I did. I went, with brownies when I was really little. I think there was like an overnight. And then I went to a horse camp in Winnipeg a couple of times. It was also, I think the background was fairly Bible-y, which is not really.
Hallelujah.
Yes, God bless. But not really, sorry to offend
Bible
anyone.
horse camp?
It was like religious.
Galloping scriptures?
Yeah, pretty much, pray and ride. But
live, pray, ride.
Yes, indeed. But it was like I just went for the horses. I didn't give a shit about the rest. There were moments of like, are you sure you don't want to accept the, this and that? And I was like, nah, put me on the horse. So, it was good. I did that a couple times as a kid.
Yeah, no, I never had the experience until the Dream Roll. Dream Roll is lasting 3 nights next year. This is not promoted by Dream Roll. We were just super huge fans. The organizers did the best job. The vibes were super good. The food was amazing. The drinks were delicious. So if anyone's listening that did take part, thank you for putting on such an epic event. We look forward to next year. Now it is fall. Are you like a fall favorite, or do you not like there's
That was a bee in your face.
That was a bee in the face, almost a bee in the mouth. I swear, I still feel, fuck, that's a ladybug. But are you a fan of the fall season? Like, people I find either love it or hate it.
I mean, I'm a little biased because it's my birthday in a couple days, so I usually get to like step into fall with some celebrations and spend time with the people I love. But like, as you know, Krissy and I and her husband and, you know, others, we are big Halloween people and we usually do something fun. And so I look forward to that bit of fall for sure. It's the Halloweening. It's a favorite.
Yeah, I used to get actually a little bit depressed when the fall would start because you're coming off the high of summer. Yeah. But now I've really embraced it. It's like we live in Vancouver. The rainy season moves in. It's that time to kind of decompress, slow down. I find you have more gatherings at home with friends. You're eating good comfort food. So being on the note that we're excited for fall, would you rather have a pumpkin for a head or a squash for feet?
Oh, I'm going to say squash for feet.
Really? Why?
Because there's no hiding the pumpkin on your head. It's going to be the first impression. It's going to be, there's nothing else, but you're just pumpkin head lady.
I feel like I would go pumpkin head, but only because I've seen that meme of the dancing pumpkin head body. Does like a Carlton action, and I feel as though my jazz hand capabilities would pair well with a pumpkin head.
Yeah, I just see so many different, I think about it practically. I'm like, I can't go to work like that. Also, like, pumpkin head's not sexy.
Then again, don't yuck someone's yum.
Maybe pumpkin head is sexy. I'm sorry if I offended anyone out there.
A head with pumpkin head,
yeah.
Pumpkin spice,
True.
right?
True.
But I'm like, if you were the only person with a pumpkin head, I think you'd be an internet sensation. So you probably wouldn't really have to work hard. You could just have a TikTok of your pumpkin life.
Yeah, there's probably a pretty good niche there somewhere. Yeah. Not for me. Squash feet all the way.
Would you rather have leaves for hair or sticks for legs?
Leaves for hair. I feel like you could get creative with that. Sticks for legs, like, hell no. Like, I like to have a little curve. Sticks for legs is like my worst nightmare. Leaves for hair, you could probably like style them some funky way. And then you'd be like the leaf-haired lady.
That's true. Sticks for legs, I feel, seems a bit brittle. And dogs would be problematic.
Yeah, and you'd probably break a leg a lot. So, no thanks.
And you're like a theater person. So if we're like, break a leg, you'd be like, fuck my sticks.
I would...
Would you rather be chased by a scarecrow or by a flock of crows?
Oh my God, both are terrifying. Ooh, I'm thinking back to like horror movies and how do you kill the scarecrow? Because then I need to know what I'm up against. Fuck. How fast does the scarecrow run?
I mean, most of the time I've just seen them hanging out.
Right? Could I outrun it is the question. Because birds are fucking relentless. Like, they will chase you to the ends of the earth if they're mad at you.
I mean, if it's a scarecrow, you could try a calm approach at first and turn around and just be like, hey. It's not what they're made out of.
Yeah, I think so. I'd be like, look, what's the goal here? And then I'd light them on fire.
Nice move. I was going to say, if you have a lighter, then you're good.
I think I'd reason with the scarecrow and then light him on fire. So, scarecrow.
Yeah, I'd have to go scarecrow as well, primarily because I know the fact that crows have facial recognition. Yeah. So they will remember you. So if they've chased you and you fucked around with them, they are going to hunt you down and find out.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, this was our special edition of the Motovation Podcast. Thank you, Chelsea, for joining us. Oh, yeah. We are sending all the love and light to Laurie, and we will be back to our regular scheduled program. But just like we say at the Motovation, you have to lean into life, and sometimes there's parts of it that are really difficult to go through. So we will be back as this journey continues.
You've just listened to the Motovation Podcast with your host, Krissy Vann, and me, Laurie Joy Kingwell.
Thanks for joining us along the ride. We've got new episodes dropping every Monday, and we're all about community. So follow us on Instagram at Motovation Podcast and visit our website at themotovation.com.
And in the meantime, tanks full and full throttle.